Well, hello there. Welcome back. My name is Julie, and I'm on the couch. Got this tripod set up. Should have done that before I started recording, but it's late. Everyone else has gone to bed. I am going to be getting ready for bed here soon, but I realized I have not journaled in a minute here on Frugal Mama's Timeout, so here I am. Let's journal. How are things going? Well, my foot is progressing. The recovery is progressing as I allow it to. You may know that I am not a patient person, and that's even on a good day. But then when I am recovering from something, as seems to often be the case anymore, it's even harder to just chill and do what you're supposed to do. But I am attempting to do that, and did a much better job of it today. Not so much yesterday. I was out gardening, but you know that the thing there is that was necessary, like mentally and emotionally. I had not been in my front yard. Seriously, my front yard hadn't been out there in over a week, and that was making me crazy. So it was worth it to me to risk the physical ramifications and having it slow down my recovery process of my foot in order to address, my mental and emotional well-being. I think you understand. And I worked pretty hard out there, and really put my foot through its paces, but it was so good. It was so good for me. It wasn't. But then, today I, of course, took it much easier. Let's see. Do you know, I don't think I got outside at all during the day, except to take my daughter to a doctor appointment and then to go out for date night tonight. Yeah. So, I did a lot yesterday. I had the energy. I really felt it. I was like, ready to do it. And then today, took it nice and easy, Unfortunately, not much time outside, which sucks, but at the same time, it was a really hot day today. So we had yesterday nice and cool, gorgeous, gorgeous. And today, really hot. Tomorrow, again, really hot. What day is this? Thursday. So Friday's going to be really hot. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, those are going to just start chilling down, which is going to be great. That's going to be a great time to be back out in the garden. So I figure tomorrow I will try and do basically the same as today, except I do want to get out into the laughing place garden. All my gardening stuff, I document all of that on our family vlog channel, Frugal Family Flies again. But I do want to at least get out there, maybe from, with my coffee in the morning, something like that, because I want to get out there and I want to see how things are doing. A lot of stuff is popping up now, a lot of the basil, the parsley, the rosemary, the sage. Oh man, I chopped a whole bunch of chives yesterday, and my hands, they smelled like onions. It was crazy. But today they not quite so much. And I hung the chives. I had thought about laying them out to dry because that's what I had done with the oregano, but I decided, let's hang them. I want to come up with a place in the house somewhere, because I just have them hanging on the wall, but that's not ideal. Ideally, you'd have them hanging from a rafter or something so that they have the airflow. But and you can also refrigerate it, you can freeze it, you can dehydrate, stuff like that. But I just hung it. But I'd really like to have a place. But I don't have rafters. I don't have rafters other than up in the attic, and we're not hanging stuff up there. So I don't know. I gotta come up with something. I want to have a section where I have, especially where I'm really doing, the herbs and stuff this year. I want to have a place where there's just herbs drying, and it feels very, I don't know, witch like. I don't know. I want to do that. I don't know where though. Anyway, how are we doing? Well, like I said, my foot, it's on the mend. It's still, I mean, the colors are changing and moving every day. The the big lumps on my foot, the potato, where the real damage happened, that's still, I mean, it's still huge. It really is. It's still huge. But that'll go down, and I am going to have new images done next week. I had wanted to do it this week, but it was still so swollen that it just seemed pointless. But now, where I actually 2 days in a row have been able to wear sneakers, not like tight or anything, but I've been able to wear sneakers, I feel like, okay, it's the swelling has gone down enough that it would be worth going and getting new images, and I think they'd be able to be more effective. So I'm looking at doing that next week. As far as my other things that were already going on, my digestive journey, doing okay. There has not been any presence of blood or anything like that in quite some time, weeks, and mostly doing okay. The pain a little bit gets away from me because I'm not as mobile, and so I've got to get myself to where my meds are and remember to take them, and when you're injured, when I'm injured, my mind, for whatever reason, is just not as clear, because so much of my time and attention, my energy is going towards, making sure my foot doesn't, get hit, knocked against, stepped on, or that I don't use it. So, so it's kind of hard, when you have a mind like mine that's squirreling all over the place, to remember, it's time to take this, it's time to do that, this is where you put it, that's where this, because I have things in different places right now during my recovery than where I normally would have them, because just for easier access, and anyway, that's this mind. I swear I'm starting to get like dementia or something. To be honest, I was going to talk about this. I've had a couple of days where, I mean, I'm only 41, okay? But I have had a couple of days, maybe more than a couple, maybe it's been a few, where I felt like my brain, how people, this is so, it's kind of crude, but it was a brain fart or something like that. Like, yeah, almost like I forgot a word. I forgot what I was talking about. I missed something. Just cognitive, and I don't have cognitive problems. Well, I've never had cognitive problems. And so, it has me a little concerned, not like big concerned. I'm really not worried about it. I'm sure that for the most part, it's just that my body is dealing with a lot of different things at the same time, And so, there goes all that energy into, pain management and healing, and, still trying to run a household and a family. But it gets unsettling. You don't want to go like down the hypochondriac road, but it's unsettling. Aging is unsettling. The things that change in your body, the things that happen. But my grandpa on my mom's side, he, I believe, was the only one that didn't end up, that lived to old age, that didn't end up with cognitive problems. Alzheimer's, huge in that family. And so, it's one of those things, it's kind of in the back of your mind, like way, way back, way in the back of your mind. And yet my grandpa is still, he is sharp as a tack. So, and, he's in his 90s. So, but all of his siblings, and there's a lot of them, they, if they lived to old age, they ended up with, cognitive decline, in mostly Alzheimer's. So it's one of those things, that you just kind of, when there's been a couple of days in a row that you've been foggy, you worry. It's a thing. I don't know. It's a thing. There was this guy that I dated back in the day. One of the first guys that I was like truly in love with. And I worked with him, actually. It was years ago. He was a lot older than me, like 14 years older than me, I think. Anyway, I remember he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That was terrifying. I wasn't dating him at the time, I don't think. Yeah, no, I wasn't. And it was like an off and on kind of a thing, never like serious, not on my part. Like I was in love with him, but it was never like a serious thing. 'Cause he was so much older than me, you know. Um, but anyhow, I remember that he had described it, or was it that he described it to somebody else and I heard how he had described it? I don't, anyway, but that he had described some of the like kind of symptoms and how he would like, it was like his vision was in frames rather than just, you look and there's like a panoramic view. His was in like clips, frames, stills, you know, and other weird stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but that's what I do in my journal. And this is my journal. This is where I get to ramble and just, think out loud. Stuff like that worries me. It does. I don't know which worries me more. Losing my ability to take care of my own hygiene, or, well, this would actually, I mean, these would work in conjunction against me, but losing like my mental acuity, that would be devastating. I've mentioned this a little here and there before, but I was part of the gifted and talented program as a child in California. Where you have a higher IQ and you're adept and quick. They put you in this program where you do these extra activities and stuff to really spur your imagination and give you room to, explore your creativity and anyway. I had a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun. Some of it, not as much, but some really amazing opportunities that I never would have had otherwise, going, to San Francisco quite a bit and different museums we went to, and the opera and symphonies and, different cultural exposure. Anyway, and so from a very young age, I mean, I skipped a grade, for crying out loud. I skipped a grade. So from a very young age, my mental acuity, my intelligence was such a huge part of my identity, of my value as a person. And so I don't know if that has to in some way inform this fear that I have of cognitive decline, to lose that sharpness, Yeah, that's terrifying. That's so terrifying. Do you ever have those dreams about your teeth falling out? It's actually a very common, sorry, that's not me farting, that's the new couch. Have you guys seen the new couch? Well, it looks just like the couch we already have, only smaller. Anyway, this dream, and it's in a lot of the books about like dream interpretation, stuff like that, but your teeth falling out. Yeah, I haven't had that dream in quite a long time. But I tell you, when I do have that dream, you guys know what I'm talking about. You can like feel them. They're all like in your mouth, like on your tongue. They're, you can feel them. Whenever I do have it, it is so hyper realistic. Like I feel it. And it's one of those where you wake up and you have to like feel your teeth to make sure they're still where they're supposed to be. And apparently it kind of signifies, your life is out of order. You feel a lack of control. You feel things spiraling, whatever, stuff like that. Things that, it's just things have gotten out of hand. I haven't had that one in a long time, but that is one of my like biggest fears. Losing my teeth. She rambles as she wanders, as she wonders. Curiouser and curiouser. Been a weird kind of a day. Kids picked a whole bunch of the cherries. Yeah, we got cherries this year. Our cherry tree. I planted it, a decade ago, probably. And it's a really healthy tree. All of my fruit trees, they're very healthy. There was one that didn't make it. It's dead. But all the rest, and I don't know what went wrong with that one. I really don't know. It was one of my peach trees, but I have a million other ones, and beautiful, beautiful. I inherited that gift from my daddy of he taught me how to prune my fruit trees and how to tend to them. And we've been very fortunate. I don't treat them. I don't, no pesticides and anything like that with the fruit trees. And you take a chance. You do take a chance. Well, case in point, last year we had no cherries. I mean, it bloomed and they grew, and then the birds, they all came and they cleaned our cherry tree. They absolutely cleaned our cherry tree. So this year I had the kids take a bunch of these old DVDs, some that we had found dumpster diving and stuff like that. And then others that, well, you know how kids are. DVDs that got destroyed. I know everyone streams everything now, but when my kids were younger, obviously it was all DVDs. Anyway, so a bunch of them were scratched up, and so the kids went out and hung those on the cherry tree. And it worked. It actually worked. Now, the sad thing is I haven't been able to be out to the cherry tree to see it in its, splendor. My hope, not tomorrow, and especially because tomorrow's going to be so hot, but like the next day or the day after, let's see, Friday, Saturday. So yeah, like Sunday, I have a big yard. I should put that out there. I have a really big yard, especially for, living in suburbia and, close to town and everything. Well, in town, I live in town. And so I have a really big yard. And so to get out to the cherry tree, I'd have to cross our back lawn, and it's a sizable back lawn. And to do that on the transport, wheelchair or on the crutches, God, no. Okay, that's not happening. So, yeah, no can do yet. But I'm hoping by Sunday to be able to get out there and see how things are doing, see the roses and all the fruit. By now I should have been out there thinning the peaches, the plums, the apples. But, it is what it is. But what I'm thinking is if I can get out there on Sunday with the kids and have the wheelchair out there, have, a place to sit, I can guide them, in thinning the stuff out and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because I want to get out there and see it. I do. Now, here's the thing, and some of you will know this, and I'll talk more about it on like a, Frugal Family Gardens video at some point, over on Frugal Family Flies Again, our family vlog channel. But I had read somewhere that when it comes to tricking the birds, you have to keep changing up what you do because they get wise. They get wise to it and they figure it out. So this year, the DVDs, they worked. But next year, it's a whole year away. Will they, do you have experience? If you have experience, let me know. Will they remember the DVDs? So essentially what I'm saying is, will I need to try something different next year? I know there's other things you can put, like a pretend owl in there. You can make noise makers, twirly things, whatever, stuff like that. Christmas ornaments, which would be really cool. I was going to do that this year. If the DVDs didn't work, then I was going to get down some Christmas ornaments and hang them out there. But luckily the DVDs did work, and that did it because I can't get up on the ladder right now to get in the attic. So, but anyway, will I need to do something different next year, or can I just add more CDs and DVDs? Remains to be seen. I think what I will do is keep down some Christmas ornaments, or at least keep them handy just in case next season. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. This water bottle, it starts making bubbly noises. Why does it do that? I don't know. It's got to be something to do with the suction function of it. Anyway. Excuse me. My sister and I were planning a trip. I know you just can't imagine where. Where would we be going, my sister and I? I've got several trips that I'm planning, but the the one I'm planning with my sister is to go to Disney World for a week in November. Just my sister and I. She's my best good friend. And she's applying for a new position that would be a strictly remote position, so she could do it from anywhere as long as she has an internet connection. And so even if she wasn't like able to get like the whole week off, it wouldn't matter because she'd still be able to do the necessary functions of that position whilst on vacation with me and Mickey Mouse. So we're planning that. And then not this year, but next year for my wedding anniversary, it's in August. I'm looking at this, I'm so excited, this Great Lakes tour here in the US. I've never been to the Great Lakes, or really the Midwest at all, other than, you know, a stopover, you know, to get onto a plane to go to another. Anyway, but I've never gone out and explored. And so I was just looking, you know how you do. I was just kind of Googling and looking around, and what I found, oh, so excited. There's a couple of parts of it that I could take or leave, but I'm of the mind if I'm going somewhere where I really don't know what's up, and we're going to be going to several different places during that trip, like when I, you know, hope to go to England next year. Same idea for this, because we're going to be, you know, going to several different states there in the Great Lakes, the greater Great Lakes region, and even into Canada, actually. I like to have all of that already figured out. Either myself do, you know, like 3 years of research and vet every single thing, or go with, you know, a highly rated touring company that has all of your transportation figured out other than the airline. All your transportation, your meals, your accommodations, i.e. your hotels, something that has all of that already figured out. It's just, I'm not the kind that I'm going to go exploring Chicago on my own. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay. I'm too scared anymore. I don't want to be lost somewhere, you know, and my body, such as it is anymore. I remember Olivia and I on our trip to New York City for a week back in 2017. It was a wonderful trip. We had a wonderful time, but we got lost so many times. And the walking and the walking and the walking. And I love to walk, but like I said, anymore, physically, it's too much. So I don't want to have to find my own way. I know there's people that love that. That's their thing, and they can do it, and they feel fine doing it. But for me, I have digestive health issues. My body is a crunchy old circus. I can't do that. I can't just let myself get lost down a road in a village. I can't do that. I need to know where the bathroom is. I need to have access to it. You know, I need to know I'm going to be able to sit down. So I love spontaneity in a certain context and situation and circumstance. Okay. So, you know, if I'm going to have a fancy drink that day or not, that can be my spontaneity. And that's enough for me. But anyhow, I like to have it be a planned trip, everything's set up by very experienced people. And so all of that to say, I was searching and I found this company. I can't remember what the name is, but anyhow, they do these tours, these like week-long tours in the Midwest, well, specifically the Great Lakes. And you go to all these beautiful places, amazing places, or beautiful areas of not as beautiful places. Okay. Places of note, historical value, you know, stuff like that, things that, curiosities, places of interest. And so many of the places that I have wanted to go see anyway. And then places I didn't even know exist. There's one on there called, Sleeping Bear Dunes. It's a beach. And it literally, the dune looks like a bear taking a nap. Beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous. And there's a river cruise, and you go to Mackinac Island. Somewhere in time. I mean, Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve, come on. So, and you stay, oh my God, you actually stay in the hotel. you stay in the hotel and you go on a carriage ride. A carriage ride. Come on. And then you go into Canada, but I don't remember where or for what. Oh, Sault Ste. Marie. Is that how you pronounce it? Probably not, but it's spelled like Salt Ste. Marie, but I think it's Sault Ste. Marie. Tell me if I'm wrong. And there's a lot of history there. Lots of history. So looking forward to that. I love me some history. There'll be gardens. You know I love gardens. But there'll be lots of museums, and I love museums. We'll get to ride, oh my God, in a Model T Ford. A Model T Ford. How cool is that? Yeah. I was telling my husband about it. Getting his thoughts on it. You know, at least it's not Disney. Hello. Yeah. People always ask me, don't you go anywhere but Disney? Guys, I've been a lot of places that are not Disney. Going just to Disney basically started with the pandemic. Yeah, we had already been to Disney a few times, but like only going to Disney started with the pandemic because you couldn't go anywhere else. I guess some people are so uptight about it, and I'm like, A, spend your money how you want to. Don't worry about me and mine. And B, where else can you go? Okay. Anyhow, but things are starting, well, hopefully are opening back up, and hopefully they stay opened back up. And we can do some other things, explore some other things. And then especially when it comes to my husband, you know, and his response is always, oh, well, that sounds like a lot of money. That sounds like a lot of money. And I'm like, you guys know my thought anymore these days is, you know, we could all be dead tomorrow. So I'm not worrying about 20 years from now. I live a very frugal life. We live a very frugal life. We don't go into debt. We don't, you know, that's not our thing. And so, you know, if I'm going to want to splurge on making some memories, doing some traveling or whatever, I think that is absolutely the best thing I can do with my money. My kids know Mama will leave them whatever jewelry there is and anything they want out of the attic. Okay, I'm not leaving money to my kids. My parents didn't leave me money. My daddy left me a ring. My mom has left me the most gorgeous painting. I don't need anything else. Okay, and I'm not leaving that for my kids either. It's not happening. That's not my plan. My husband, who will no doubt outlive me, he can do what he wants, but with as far as that goes, but for me, nope, not happening. So I figure as long as, you know, I die solvent or my life insurance policy covers any debts that I might have, then I really don't care. You know, we know my health. It's you know, it's this. And I know for a fact that even if I do live into retirement age, old age, I won't be able to do a damn thing. Travel? No. Not comfortably. No. So carpe that diem, you know, season that day, and I'm gonna go. Gonna do stuff, gonna live, and I'd love for him to come along with me and to try and find things that we can do together and enjoy together. And I feel like this trip that I've been looking at for next year does that. You know, there's bike rides we can take together, trails we can explore, as long as I don't keep messing up my feet. There's romance. He's not really much of a romantic guy, but I like the romance. Lots of nature, lots of just beautiful things to see and to explore. So yeah, that's what I want to do next year. For our anniversary this year, God, I don't know. I gotta do something. Was it last year that we totally forgot it was even our anniversary till like that morning? I think so. We'll be 17 years. God, I can't even believe that. 17 years. If somehow you are still watching this journal right now at almost 30 minutes in of this nonsense, put 17 years in the comments. 17 years. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy and amazing and wonderful. 17 years. It goes by so fast. Holy cow, it goes by fast. Doesn't it? And your mind, though, in many ways, is still like 25. And yet not. You know, it's like a cheese. Ooh, but I love stinky cheese. Maybe this isn't the best analogy to use, but, you know, it ripens with age. The flavors develop and deepen. It gets stinkier, okay? It gets stinky. 17 years. Jeez, that's crazy. I want to plan something. We had talked about kind of revisiting our honeymoon. We went to Moab here in Utah for our honeymoon. And we went on a Hummer tour over the mount, or the rocks. It was amazing. We did a rafting trip and a kayaking trip down the river. That was really fun. It was an adventure. That might be fun to do, but we'll see. I don't know. But next year, yeah, the Great Lakes. If you live in that area, or you've ever explored, visited, vacationed in the Great Lakes area, tell me about it. What were your favorite things? What are your must-dos? What are your do's and don'ts? What are those things that you just, someone else needs to know if they're going to go there? Let me know. What's the right food to eat? I know that there's, well, and what to drink. I don't know. I know there's going to be a wine tasting. My husband's not into any of that, but I am. I think that was part of the thing, but there will also be a fish boil. I don't eat fish. I don't eat seafood. My husband does, so he'll be able to enjoy that. Obviously, you know, things like fish and stuff like that are going to be on the menu because it's, you know, lakes. But what else? What else should I keep an eye out for and keep a little room for in the old tum-tum? Let me know. I think I'm going to wrap it up because my contacts, see, they're feeling like they're sucking my eyes out, so that was a little bit much. Anyway, I think I'm going to go to bed, which at this point consists, yes, still of this couch. This is Friday? Holy shit. No, wait, are we almost 2 weeks out? Where did that time go? See, this is what I'm talking about. I think we're almost 2 weeks out. Yeah, because I got hurt Monday before last is when I had my big dramatic moment in the front yard and twisted my foot around. It was a Monday. And this last Monday, right, was the week mark, the 1 week. And it's, no, today's Thursday. Okay. Tomorrow's Friday. So no, we're not quite into the 2 week mark yet. But even so, I've slept not quite, 1.5 nights in my own bed. That's it. The rest of the time I've been here on the couch. And it's because my foot, I still need to have it elevated at night. But I sleep on the left side of the bed. And it's my right foot that's messed up. So, you know, the communal blanket, such as it is makes it so it's really uncomfortable. That's like draped over my foot and it's too tight and it doesn't feel good. And that's kind of tricky to figure out. And so and then of course there's the stairs, and I have the most god-awful stairs you've ever seen in your life. They're what, not even 20 years old, but you would think they were built in like 1895 because they're so steep and narrow. Terrible stairs, especially for when you're injured. So the going up and down is just and then the, you know, trying to, you know, the logistics of figuring out anyway. So I'm gonna go take my face off and pull my eyes out, and I'm gonna get some sleep. Thank you for listening and watching. This has been my journal. I have been Julie. You have been marvelous. You have been just wonderful, generous, kind, patient. You have humored me, and that means a lot. That means a lot in my old weathered age as my acuity somewhat declines. I don't know. I don't know. I am a little worried about it. There's a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it, but you know, it's just one of those things kind of in the back of your mind that's kind of just niggling at you, just kind of bugging you a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start doing my crosswords and word searches again. Because those kinds of activities, that and like learning a new language, maybe I'll do that too. Maybe I'll see if I can get like a sponsorship on the big channel with like Babbel or something. But but when you do those like crosswords, word searches, when you learn a new language, a new skill, you build new pathways in your brain. Helps to keep you young and healthy upstairs. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bust out my word searches. I have lots of word searches, lots of crossword puzzles. I'm going to bust those out. Might get out another of my jigsaw puzzles, especially where, you know, tomorrow's going to be really hot. Stay indoors and work on some of those. That's what I'm going to do. I am so glad that we had this, that, you know, because my great sounding board, we just solved it. Thanks for being part of that. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day or night or morning or whatever. I'm going to go to sleep, but I'll see you really soon. Okay? Okay.